Elizabeth Chappell, a lifelong entrepreneur who finally found my niche. After years of new ideas and jumping from business to business, I figured out how to turn a craft into a successful career. In 2016, I started a monthly subscription box for quilters. That little startup has grown into a thriving, multiple six-figure business that I am so proud of. As a published author, designer of fabrics and patterns being sold throughout the world, my favorite thing to do is to teach others how to grow a career of their dreams. Each week, you'll hear from me or from other guests who are creative entrepreneurs, so you can learn exactly what to do and what not to do to grow a career that's more rewarding and successful than you ever thought possible. If you're ready to turn your craft into a career that you love, I am so excited you're here. Welcome to the Craft to Career podcast. Today on the podcast, we have one of my OG, original super fans, that I've been a fan of from the beginning of my quilting career, and it is Minki Kim. She is a talented artist and fabric artist, sewing illustration. That is how I first found her. You're going to hear about it. And if you don't know what that is, you'll have to go and check it out because she's so talented. And I'm actually recording this introduction after we talked. And I just want to share how vulnerable this conversation was for both of us. We both opened up and shared things, that we admire about each other, but also that we really do struggle with as creatives and as designers. I really look up to and admire Minki, and she shared that she feels the same, but how it also can create you'll have to hear. It's a very interesting conversation, very candid, open, vulnerable conversation, and you're just going to love Minki and her story. And I want to read a review. I'm so excited to see this review. It's from Amelia McCall, and she was actually a guest on the podcast. And she just left a review, which I'm so thankful for. She said, "Thankful for Elizabeth's voice in this space. She is a wealth of knowledge. Short and sweet, but so appreciated. If you have not left a review for the podcast yet, please take just a moment. You can scroll down. If you're in Apple Podcasts, scroll down to the bottom of the show, and it will say ratings and reviews. Write a review, and there you'll see 5 purple highlighted stars. You can tap however many stars you want to give the show, and then you can write a review as well. You can also do that in Spotify. So now, after you've taken a moment to do that, come and join me in hearing from Minki Kim. Minki, welcome to the podcast, and you are Korean. When did you come to America?
20 something years ago.
Okay.
Right after I got married, my husband in Korea.
Yeah.
And like a month later, I was here in California with a 2 big suitcase. Uh-huh.
So, okay, my questions for the business. When did you learn to sew?
I was a staying home mom with the little babies. I had the baby right after my marriage. So I needed something to escape from babysitting. And the sewing machine was a good tool for me. So I was all self-taught, starting from very simple straight stitches. It took me a while to get well with the simple straight stitches. And then there was a one day happening while we were shopping at Costco. My husband saw the brother sewing machine. Why don't you get it? And then it was my very first sewing machine. That is how everything started.
Wow.
Like 20 something years ago.
So it's been about 20 years. My big question is when I first discovered you, you had these amazing drawings. And I still have not tried your technique. It intimidates me. I just need to do it. And I'm looking, I can see this quilt behind you. It's the same thing. You'll cut little pieces of fabric. And then I think you put some kind of adhesive on the back. And you
steam a seam.
Yeah, steam a seam. And then you sew as if it's like the outline of the drawing with the thread. How did you see that somewhere? Did you kind of invent that yourself?
My major is fine art, I've been drawing since I was second grade until the college, and my major is sculpture. And there is some warning. One, I wanted to create something. I want to draw something. Even I was a mom, cooking, baking, changing kids. But there is a part of me wanted something creative. So, but that time with your small apartment with the little kids, there's no space for you to do such a artistic thing, right? So I found this sewing machine. One day I tried, can I draw something with this sewing machine? Because at that time I had only piece of fabric and thread. So I just tried as a test, just a square, the triangle, square, and then draw through the dark color thread. It was a house, yeah, and it worked. So I added more like a window, and then next to the trees and people. It really worked. It was a lot of work because you have to put your what is it toe up and down and up and down
Yeah, the feed dog
of your dog
is it?
because
Yeah.
it was all my from my trying from the beginning. I didn't know there is something called the raw edge applique. That's the thing. Long time later, I learned there's such a thing, and I if I knew that, I would try it from the beginning without taking off the feet and just to do what other people doing like do. But I didn't know there's such a thing exists. So my technique is just using straight stitches and to use your open toe applique foot. That way you can see a little better. That is the beginning. Yeah, and I think the first what do you say something inspiration was the Miyuki. How was her name? Miyuki. Her name is Miyuki something. Japanese artist. Her artwork was like very what do you say? Little detailed, detailed strawberry pie. It was in the
Hmm.
Martha Stewart magazine.
Hmm.
That was my trigger.
Yeah.
That's the how I found that you can draw something with your thread.
Huh.
But there's no way I can find her website. There's just the picture of her work, and I could not find anything how she did it. I just keep looking and looking. So I just tried my way. So that time I didn't know there is a steam machine. So I tried just the school glue. You cut with your small scissor, cut a piece of fabric on the back, just stick it, and then with your thread. And then after practicing, oh, I found out it's easier when you shorten the stretch length, and it's you give a more different variety if you change the thread thickness, like 50 or 80. No, no, not 80, like 12. So it is all test and practice. And
I'm
then, yeah,
envious.
that's how I started. And I'm so
I
glad. How did you find me?
I wish I remember. I don't even remember. But I mean, back when I had the subscription box, you created a special stamp just for the box.
I wanted to thank you about that because at that time I was just a beginner of learning Illustrator program, and you got to me and asked me, and it is just something kind of a very rare paid job that I do.
Hmm.
So and you end up didn't using it all my designs, right?
I think because we just could afford to make like one stamp. So we had to pick
Mm-hmm.
like one of your drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we ended up putting that stamp in the box so people could try your method of sewing. And yeah. But all of your drawings, so how did you learn Adobe products? Like I'm assuming do you just use Illustrator or do you use other Adobe?
I use other program, but that time I was not good at anything at all. I just had a friend. I had a friend next door who her job is doing the Adobe Illustrator, and she teach me something for a 1 day work, and then her teaching was so bad I could not understand what she was talking. So like my husband keeps saying, when you do digitally, you can manufacture, you can produce multiple things without work, right? But that time I just like to do with my own pencil or the own paper. I was that kind of old fashioned lady. And there is a need. I need to do something with this program so I can offer people some free patterns. So I just opened the program and I click try this and that and then search the YouTube. Yeah,
Wow, self-taught.
everything is self-taught, and thank you YouTube and the website. You just how to do the kind of thing.
So, Minki, I'm curious, do you write your own patterns, like your quilt patterns and zipper patterns or zipper pouch patterns?
Yes, I do write my pattern. I don't have any writer for me. Wish I have one.
Right? Seriously, that's the best thing. So, how has that been? English is not your first language.
Mhm.
Have you how have you done that? I mean, that's really difficult.
So my first pattern had no written instruction, only the drawing. And I gave out, first it was a free and then like 99 cents, right? Because I didn't have much thing to offer. Because writing pattern is always I always scared about that. Because as English, my second language, I talk well, but that doesn't mean I can write well, right? So, but the big help was I wrote 4 books. My first book I wrote with my friend, and other 3 books with by myself. And all that experience helped me how to start, material list, preparing and the making all the steps. So I've been practice. It doesn't mean my pattern is perfect. I still write down my pattern and then I ask my girls and my sewing friends and then let them read and then tell them, do you think you can understand what I'm talking? And then if they cannot understand, I try to write it again. And that's the reason why I came up with my YouTube channel, because it's not enough when you write something and then you cannot show all the things you want to offer. So yeah, so all of my pattern has the YouTube channel link. So you just click it. And most of the people say they just watch my video instead of reading all the instructions. So that's how I think's going.
Well, first of all, I have to give you a compliment. So, oh dear, her name is slipping my mind. It's Bonnie, Christine's mom, Maxie Ramey. Do you know her? She lives in North Carolina, I want to say. She owned a quilt shop for years. She's a master quilter, and she recently made a pouch, and she said the best zipper tutorial I have ever seen is from Minki Kim.
Really?
And she is, yes. And I DM'd her. I'm like, which tutorial? She's like, Minki Kim's tutorials for zippers are the best. And she has done this for a long time. And she says yours are the very best. So now I want to be a student of you and your methods. So that was a big, big compliment.
Thank you. Please thank her. Please.
Yeah.
Wow, you made my day. And she made my day.
Yeah, it's a big compliment coming from her. So how long have you been doing YouTube? Like, what's been your best way to grow your audience? Is it through YouTube, Instagram, something else?
First, I started YouTube. No. I started Instagram, right? Like long time ago. And then, I don't know when I started YouTube, like 2 years, something years ago. I thought until that time, I thought watching YouTube is not good. I thought watching YouTube is like wasting your time. And I keep telling my kids, no, don't watch it. Do something. And then there is a chance, some like a commercial, like some feed pop up, and there is a sewing YouTube. And I didn't know until then there is such a thing. And I can do that. I'm good at not talking, just showing my hands. So that's how I started. But the good thing is I already have Instagram. So I told people that I opened my new YouTube channel, please watch it. And then they helped watching. And then I don't know if there is a thing YouTube has. If you are the beginner or if you new person, they kind of help you to show to other people. So my first basket trio, fabric basket trio tutorial have now more than million views. I mean, it's
Wow.
kind of lucky. I was lucky, I think,
Well,
still.
but it's good. The content is good too. Like you put out good content.
But you don't know what's going to be good one. Because after that, I
That's
try
true.
so hard and I wish that I have that kind of a luck over and over again, but didn't happen much.
Huh.
So,
Okay. So it went viral a little bit.
mhm. So the best thing you can do is just to keep doing. You never know what's gonna be the your popular one or what people gonna like, because you cannot presume or you can plan. Because
That's true.
you see some people, let's say the quilt, like somebody make the whatever quilt, and then you think,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna do that, but it's not as you. I even though you like it or I like it, but it doesn't mean everybody like it. So
Yes, that is true. And we just never know because sometimes I'll create a quilt pattern. I'm like, this one's going to be so popular,
mm-hmm,
and it's not. And
mm-hmm,
then the most basic one that I'm
mm-hmm.
like, do I even make a pattern for this? That one everyone loves. I'm like,
Right,
oh,
exactly.
okay.
There are many
So,
tutorials that I just thought it's too simple to make a pattern, so I make it
mhm.
free, and it is the most popular ever.
You're like, actually, we're going to charge for that one now. So, okay, back to the books. What was the first book that you wrote, and how did that happen?
Oh, my friend Christine. I keep talking about my friend Christine. I met this friend who is a quilter. Until I met her, I didn't know what is quilt. I know you
Oh.
cut the fabric and stitch again.
Hmm.
But she became my friend, and then she came to my house, and then she saw all my sewing illustration that we talked before, like a large applique. Now people say, but I keep telling it's a sewing illustration. So
Hmm.
she said, you should write a book, she said. And then, no, I can't because I'm Korean. And then, no, you should. And then I said, then let's write a book together. So I do making thing and she do writing the instruction. And I really enjoyed that time. Like let's say every Sunday we meet, and then over the coffee, I explain how I made, and she listened and write down, and I read. Oh yes, that's what I meant to me. And then that kind
Oh,
of over and over
nice.
again. And she even made herself, and then she asked her friend to try our simple project. That's how my first book came. So illustrated,
Hmm.
very long ago, but still, that's my favorite book ever.
And do I recall, am I making this up? But I feel like Amy Sinibaldi used to live in California, and I think the two of you got together and made something. Is that right?
I found her that she lives not so far away, and we had a chance to invite her. And then she really came to my home. And then me, Amy, and Christine, we got together, and I made my favorite, famous panini. And then we chat a little bit. Yeah. And then she moved far away. That was the
I
only
know.
time we get together. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that on Instagram and I'm still envious. One day we will get together in
Uh
real
huh.
life
Uh
and
huh.
I'm already looking
Uh
forward
huh.
to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, can you talk to me a little bit about how you have grown your Instagram audience? I'm curious because I'm on Instagram and you have so many followers. Tell me your secret. What
I
are
don't.
you doing?
I wish I have. I wish I know the secret because I want to ask other people, how did you do that? Because I have been having this account so long, and first I didn't know what to do. So my very first post was my daughter write her name, like oh she can write her name, and then second picture was my kids hang around with swim at the swimming pool. That's like my struggling moment. I didn't know what to do, what this channel gonna be. Because I was told there's a such a thing called Instagram, and they post pictures, and I thought, oh, this is my thing because I'm not good at writing in English. but I like to take pictures and show the images and inspire people. And then I try to focus more on sewing, like only sewing, 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 sewing. And then first, I think I collaborate with the people, like a big company like Orafil, Riley Blake, Olfa, whatever. All the industry that they give me the product for me, and then I collaborate them, and then I make a project and share, and they post mine. So that helped me because when I was a nobody and I have like a 10 only followers, and those like a five of your family, that kind of a small account, and then collaborate was helping. And Amy also helped me too. Amy Sinibali, one day she talked about my project. I think we exchanged our part holders that time. She gave me one and I gave one to her, and then we talk about that, and then like I got 50 followers overnight, and I was so thrilled, and I thank her so much. And then I cannot say like collaborating with other people always help you, because it is just the beginning. It may helps, but it is not always work like that. I still don't know the answer because my Instagram now kind of stopped growing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it stopped growing. I don't know what I did wrong.
Well, you
So
have so many followers, but I am curious because I've heard recently, whoever knows, the algorithm changes every day, I feel like. But I heard that recently Instagram is really trying to put more energy onto the smaller accounts. And so a lot of people with larger accounts aren't seeing a lot of growth. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. So,
but am I in a larger account group? I think I'm still.
in my opinion, you are.
I
Yeah.
think I'm still smaller group. Please
Really?
help me, Instagram.
Wait, because just tell our audience, how many followers do you have on Instagram right now?
I have 194K.
194,000. That's a lot. So in your opinion, what's a lot? Just out of curiosity.
It's always like
Yes.
comparison.
Yeah.
When you have, there is a time I wish that if I have something K next to my
Yeah.
number, that K was meant to be so much, right? And then it's like buying your first house or buying your first car. You wanted that so badly, but once you have like a month later, it's like normal, right? So
Yep.
now I want to have like a 200K, but that 6K it takes forever to grow, and
Right.
I don't
Yes.
know. I'm
Well,
sorry,
and
so I don't know the answer. But what I can do is I stopped looking at the number because
I like that.
because I found out try to show up every day you are there, but kind of a bug of people. It happened to me like you were following these people you like because of all the things they've been working. But if that content is showing to you every day, like kind of a similar thing every day, you want to kind of take a break, right? And
Yeah.
then I think I've been had the up and down. You like a love and hate relationship. I love this community so much, but there's some time you just wanna disappear, and then you wanna be like silent, right? There is the moment. There's period for me, and before I was so into growing my channel, I worried a lot. What if people forget about me? What if they don't like my things anymore if I don't show every day? But now I don't think so. I found out it's not true. So because of all the what do you call the mentors, first they say always you should do on certain day you show up something like continuously. They mentor like that, but I and like Pinterest. They
Yeah.
say I don't know, tailwind. You set the
Yep.
things, you show everything like regularly when you are sleeping. But I was too lazy to set up those things, so I wants to delete everything. Guess what? Didn't happen anything, and actually my
Right?
Pinterest grow better.
No way.
And then even the Instagram, I took a break like for almost a month,
Yeah.
and I found that people didn't forget about me, and they
Right?
kind of
Yeah.
liked better than before because not because I'm showing the something new. It's I'm doing the same. I'm the same person. My work is all the same, right? But I think they wanted to take a break from my same feed.
That's interesting. Well, and it's also a relief as a business owner. Like, if you're tired, take a break. It's okay. It's not like you're gonna just all of a sudden your business goes out of business because you took a
Mm-hmm,
break.
mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
okay. And
Yeah.
I'm curious just to get your opinion on this. So if you've experienced this or not. For me, especially, I don't know, the first few years of my business, I followed a lot of other business owners in the quilting community. And recently, I've stopped doing that. And it's been really good for me mentally. Like I follow people not really even in the quilting community. I follow gardeners and doll houses and embroidery and it's a very breath of fresh air because I'm not feeling that comparison of like, well, what are they up to? Oh, wait, they're getting all together. Why am I not friends with them? And do you ever experience anything like that?
It is so funny because I had the same thing because because of that reason I unfollowed so many of sewing people because I don't want to be jealous or competitive. So I start to
Mm-hmm.
follow the dog, chicken raising,
Yeah.
how to make a tomato growing. So there's nothing you were competitive. You just wow and then purely admire what they are doing, right? Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm so glad I'm not the only person that struggles, Oh, I'm still here. People are going non-stop being productive and then showing new things, but you feel like you're not that productive enough. But but you are one of the productive people I admire and often jealous. And then it's just
That's
good
so
for me that
interesting to
you say
hear.
that to me.
Well, and what's interesting is it's very interesting for me to hear you say that you have a small account because in my mind, I feel like you must feel so proud and accomplished because wow, look how big it is. But it just goes to show no matter where you are, we're always looking forward. I'm looking at who's ahead of me, or I see all these people getting together and I feel left out. Instead of looking at, wow, look at what I have, we just tend to. So, but I do think it's good for us mentally to recognize, oh, I would rather follow chickens and tomatoes. And, this is better for my mental health.
Yes, because I also uh, follow the pottery.
Oh, fun.
I forgot what to say.
Oh, that's fine. I did. So I am curious how did you start designing fabric with Riley Blake, and how did you decide to work with Riley Blake as opposed to another fabric company?
Oh, now I remembered. You said
Yeah.
my Instagram follower. It related, so I wanna answer two things at the same time because you said I have a big followers. So you said I must be so happy, no? I have this much blah blah. But
Mm-hmm.
when you ask me about how I become a fabric designer, I was just didn't know I was lucky because I just wanted to be a fabric designer. So I made this collection. It was not complete collection. I just show what I can do to Riley Blake because at that time I had no other connection with other fabric company but only Riley Blake because I was writing a book with my friend and then my publisher gave me the older list I can contact that will help me writing all the giving the supplies and one of the fabric companies Riley Blake. So now I already know somebody inside, right? So I emailed the lady and I don't know how it doesn't take long. They just liked my fabric, my design.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
accepted her. And it took long though to I need to change it a lot, there is just three colorways, all the thing. You have to have a main, you have a support, you have a base, all the thing I just learned. So all the thing happening was for my pure luck, because when I hear other people's interview and they say they share their how they become a fabric designer, and people say they took a course, they made a fabric swatch with a spoon flower, and they went to the show, and they contact all the company people, and then show your physical scrapbook, portfolio, and then you get to work with them, right? But for me, just one email was
Wow.
and then I realized how I should be grateful, how I should be proud of myself, and how should I be less competitive, just to focus on what I like to do, and then share, because that's how people start to follow me. That's how they found me, right? So that all kind of a process, and then listening many other interviews, podcast interview, really helped me a lot mentally.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I'm trying to think, even this last quilt market, I think the quilt that's behind you, I'll have to put a picture of this on the show notes, but I think that was hanging up at Quilt Market. Is that right?
Yes.
And I just love your look. I've never seen it before. And I did find myself feeling like envious, but in a good way, but also envious of your ability to just create, like it's just so cool and it's so cute and it's very distinct. You have a very unique niche and brand, all the things that I teach, like you have to have this and to have success, you've got it all. And you studied art. So that was cool to hear that you're an artist. You've been drawing forever, but it's all very, it's just really interesting to hear how we can both be envious of each other, and like, it's harder for us to I don't know, appreciate what we have for ourselves and to see the good in others. You know what I mean?
That's what exact feeling I saw your first fabric collection came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
All the drawings, it's not like a hard one, but you are the one gathered all the different colors and make it all works together. And I see many people pick that certain exact fabric and make things,
Right.
And I was, dang it, why I didn't think about that?
This is like a moment of pure honor. I can't believe that you felt like that. I'm so flattered.
I should have say more, but when you don't want to DM there's such a long compliment to some people, especially when you don't see the face, right? But I'm so glad that I have a chance that all the thoughts that I've been having a long time finally, spill.
Yeah. Well, and it's just, I definitely have a mutual respect for your design process. Do you feel like it's gotten easier for you to design a fabric collection, or like picking colors has become easier, or is each collection like, all right, here we go again. What am I going to
do? Each collection getting harder because you are out of the idea anymore. Oh, this one, I used this already. That's one of my fear. If I cannot come up with a good design anymore, if I cannot come up with a good back tutorial anymore, because it's
just keep doing the same. Honestly, you could come up with the same ones over and over, and I'd be like, oh, good, here we are.
But there is a certain expectation. Once the first thing came out, then second should be at least equally good.
Right.
But plus a little kind of a surprise. But you are the same person. Your dislike is always the same. You cannot be a different person tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. So it's honestly harder for me.
Yeah, I get that pressure. Like designing the second fabric collection, I was like, oh boy, that pressure to come up with something that will be at least as popular as the first one or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So yeah, I get that.
And then there's a collection that I liked personally so much, but didn't other people like as much I did. And
Mm-hmm.
there's collection you didn't think it will sell a lot, but it sell a lot, right?
Yep.
So I just have to keep do what I like to do, just to stay try to be me instead of choosing the colors or patterns like most people's in trend. That's my
Right.
lesson. I stopped following that trending
Mm-hmm.
thingy because before, when my first fabric collection came out, and second when you design second one, I search what is the most favorite color people like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it became a fail, so you don't
It's
know who you.
true. Yeah, because there's even like the trend Bible. You can go down the rabbit's hole, but
Mm-hmm.
people like you for your style, and yeah, I get that. I do. And even with quilt patterns, because I've gone through years now of designing quilt patterns, and I was very true to myself at first. And then I started looking at other people who are really successful. I'm like, ooh, okay, I need to do geometric. Everyone loves geometric right now. I don't love geometric, And so it wasn't true to me. And so just navigating that whole like, okay, let's go back to what Elizabeth loves and just do that, that doesn't go out of style. That'll always be true to me.
That's my question. How is it like coming up new quilt design? Because that is my least favorite part.
Yeah.
But I just wish to have their finished quilt pile in my pile in my next to living room. I want to show off, but that's the ability I don't have. So how is it like coming up new quilt pattern?
Yeah, it's different. Like I have one that will be coming out. I wish it was ready now, but anyhow, it's more pictorial. It goes with my new fabric collection,
Mm-hmm.
and it has like a quilt block to go with each story, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears and Little Red Riding Hood, Peter Rabbit. And so that was really, it just kind of came about because of the fabric. Um, Sometimes it comes about because I need to. There will be a magazine that's like, will you make a pattern? I say yes. And I'm like, oh boy, okay, now I better figure it out. So sometimes it's inspiration, sometimes it's necessity. Sometimes I'll see something out, I don't know, a cool tile cafe floor. And I'm like, ooh, that'd make a cool quilt. So just kind of, yeah, I don't know, as inspiration comes. I'm curious with zipper bag pouches. How on earth do you come up with an idea for a bag? Like, I
Like
can't.
panel?
Yeah, well, not even a panel, but just like how to make a pattern for. I've never made a bag, so let's start with that. I've never made a bag, so maybe I need to make a bag first, and then I'll be like, oh, I get it. But like, how do you come up with a new bag idea?
Don't make a bag. Because
Okay,
you're gonna
yeah.
be good bag maker, then I have to compete with you. Just focus on your quilt. I'm not gonna go quilt.
No, that's funny.
No, because I don't have a patience, so I'm like you start this morning. You wanna finish it today before you go to bed, and so tomorrow morning you wanna take a good picture. So
I
that
like that.
is why I like small projects. Even the quilt,
Mm-hmm.
I like mini quilt or placemat that you can
Yep.
finish even the binding today, while watching TV. So it was not easy. It was not hard because I'm the kind of a person, but I always envy the people who take, oh, how long it take to make that quilt? And they say, oh, a year or like a six
Yeah.
month, and then I can, but that is one of my lifetime dream goal. I want to have that kind of a masterpiece
Mm-hmm.
once at least. But yeah, so
See,
that
that's
is
how
like
the
a.
idea
Mhm.
starts.
I have like a so many what is it container full of pouches that I don't even use. But when you make a quilt,
Mm-hmm.
you can use it, right?
True.
So I liked what I like to do is making small projects, but I always envy other people's quilt to display.
Yeah, that's true. To display the quilt or yeah. I mean, we have so many quilts in my house now. It's getting to be kind of a problem,
You're
but
not trade with my pouch.
we'll have to talk about a trade. We could do something. So I'm curious, what are the different products that you sell?
I make or I sell.
Sell, yeah. So you
Sell.
sell fabric and patterns.
Mostly I sell patterns, and I
Mm-hmm.
sell recently woven labels. That's my new thing. I love
Oh.
those. The beginning is I always wanted to add something on my pouch, something cute, something unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
So the label is a good thing, and I had like a friend gave it to me from Korea or from Japan. But when you are out of them, there's no way you can find the one you like. So that's how I start to make myself.
Hmm.
And I really kind of like people like my labels. So that's the big thing for me. Pattern and labels. Yeah, that's the big thing
Okay.
I'm selling.
That's perfect. I've been looking for labels. So I'm going to check out your labels. I didn't know that. I'll have to go take a look.
Oh, you should look.
Yeah, I will for sure. And then I'm curious for our listeners and for me, I'd love to hear what do you love the most about your creative career?
My creative career. Okay. I don't need to go to work because when
Mm-hmm.
I wake up, when you sit in front of a sewing machine, your work starts, right? And you can finish your work by in front of a computer, by writing up, editing the video. It's all your work. So that is the best part. And the not best part is there's no off or weekend or vacation.
Yep. There's always more that you could do. I feel
Uh-huh,
that way.
uh-huh,
I'm like,
uh-huh.
I have to have a hard, like, okay, 5 o'clock, I'll be done. But I could keep working forever,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Because even in your dream, you have to think about. I do think about how should I assemble differently. How
Mm-hmm.
should I
Mm-hmm.
make the shape differently so easy to people to have the same result, but not like not what do you say not boring, So that's
Yeah.
why I add a lot of curves, but at the same time, people don't like to so curvy lines. So,
Oh, it's a good thing to conquer though. And you do a good job teaching on your videos. So something a little different.
but it's like you said, you haven't made a bag,
It's true. It's
right?
true. I
And
even
then
have your panel and I'm like, just do it,
bag
Elizabeth.
makers always make bag. Quilters always make quilters. It's hard to, For me, I know you're like a rainbow or the quilt pattern pop up on my beat. I like them. But
Hmm.
next time, but at the moment I'm gonna make
Yep.
my pouch.
It's never a good time to try something new. I love that. So I'm curious, do you have any big business dreams that you would love to see happen?
Business dream. I wish I am like you. I wish I have a business dream like you because I think I feel so old. I just
Really?
want to have enough money that I don't need to worry about when I buy grocery. I don't need to check your price tag. You just to grab
Mm-hmm.
whatever you like.
Yep.
And I just want to have more chickens.
Yes.
I mean, that is my just a small dream. I always small dream small, not dream big.
But
That's me.
yeah, the simple life, it sounds like just living and having a simple life with chickens. And is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what I like. I wish like I don't want to have a big, amazing name, big house, and big everything. Just want to do all the thing I like to do, but don't need to worry about how am I paying the bill. It's
Yes.
not small, right? It's a big.
Right, I know. We say simple, but you know. And then, what advice do you have for someone who's thinking about starting a creative career?
If I say to myself, like 15 years ago me, I say, okay, when it's okay to like do something you like, but that time I didn't care what most people like. I just only focused on what I like. But and years later, I found out, and I see my work that time back again. Now you have a, what to say, you can see from the upper level, right? And then you know what was wrong that time. And I think if you are like me, you are too focused on what you like, just to take a break and then go to what others people doing, because it's hard to, what do you say? It's the, oh, okay. Easy example is, I don't like the music. The singer that sings, only he like to sing, right? The
Yeah.
song is the people to listen, right? So like, if you are career, if you wanna be, this is your career, you need, at least you need to have a certain group, size of a group that likes yours. That way you can keep doing it and then grow a little bigger. So, is it not advice?
Yeah, yeah, no. I think so. Tell me if this is correct. In summary, create something where there's a group that's already congregating. Like, don't try and create something that nobody likes. Like find a group of people that like it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of that, because at that time, like for example, I was just so into linen, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and only you have to be on your own drawing. I didn't want to make any other people's pattern or any other people's design. It should be only me. It should be only linen. It should be so artistic. But because of that, if I break that rule quickly, I would grow faster and I would learn more from other people. But I was thinking myself, I'm an artist. I studied fine art. Why do I do what other people do? But it was a totally wrong idea.
Aha. Okay.
Mhm.
So do learn from others. Like look out, branch
Mhm.
out, learn,
Mhm. Mhm.
explore.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's beautiful.
Mhm. That's
And
what I learned. Mhm.
yeah, for our listeners who want to follow you or see your work, where is the best place for them to find you?
Please follow me Instagram.
We'll get that 200K.
I should give away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give away. If I have a 200K, I'm gonna give a big box of labels. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I'll have to check out those labels. And your Instagram is at Zirioni. Is that how you say it?
Zeriano. Why did I use that name? I didn't thinking about keep doing Instagram this long. So that time I took my husband's name, because when you make a new account, the word you want to use already taken, right? And this
Yep.
word my husband made. So you can make, when you make an account, it's just so easy, because he made this word made up. That's how it is just so hard to pronounce.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Zeriano.
Zeriano.
Zeriano. Mhm.
Is it Italian?
No, he made up.
Oh, it's totally made up.
He said
Okay.
it's a zero plus one. You know, he means like eternal something.
Very poetic. I like it. And then on YouTube, where can they find you? What's your YouTube channel?
It's youtube.com/Minki Kim. Minki Kim? Yeah, one word. Mhm. Then you can find.
Perfect.
Or you just go Minki Kim, then you will find me. And I try
Yeah.
to upload a new tutorial at least twice a month. Before I did, when I started, I did it twice a week. I did that for
Ooh.
1 year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say is wow.
it was a big commitment. Like I set up a goal. I'm like a goal person. You set up a goal,
Mm-hmm.
you just do it for like a month or
Yep.
a year. That was my goal. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna share my free 2 tutorial a week until I get silver button. And that after a year, that Christmas, I really got that button. It was my Christmas gift. And then once you have that, you don't have any idea. And then you kind of lost the
Mm-hmm.
interest. So I don't do that anymore. So I say I try to upload twice a month.
That sounds more doable, but I'll have to go back and look. When did you stop doing twice a week?
And I don't have any idea anymore.
Oh, that's funny. That's good. Well, we'll have to go check that out. And thank you so much for chatting. It's really fun for me to chat with you. I just really love your personality and, having a conversation with you. So thank
I'm
you.
so glad that I've been secretly admiring and then finally tell you in front of your face. And thank you
Yes.
so
Well,
much for having
same.
me. I hope there is some information people could use it. I try to be honest, but I don't know if I deliver correctly.
Oh, it was perfect. There's so many little nuggets in there of your experience, what's worked, what hasn't worked. It's very, very valuable. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Minki, thank you so much. What a fun conversation. I just cannot express the eye-opening experience of me hearing that you are like, not that intimidated is the right word, but just that mutual respect that we both have for each other. I'm beyond flattered that you feel that way towards me because I feel that towards you. And I hope you listeners just found that very insightful of the emotions that we go through as designers, as creative entrepreneurs, and hearing a bit about the journey that Minki's gone through. So thank you so much for being here. Absolutely loved it. And again, can't wait to meet you in real life. It's been far too long. You've been one of my super, designer fans that I've been fangirling for years and years. So thank you for being a guest on the podcast, Minki. And I'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode for you listeners. Thank you for being here.